Right, okay guys, so today's video is going to be a pickups video. I've had some great deals actually recently. This one's going to be games and Blu-rays. I have got some other bits coming, but they're not here yet, so we'll just get on with what we got. But I've had some good deals. So we kick this off with some charity shop finds. And first off, we have got Rayman Rush on the PlayStation 1. And as I'm saying that, I can hear a disc rattling around inside. And the reason I can hear a disc rattling around inside before we have a look at the case is because this came in it too. So I actually ended up getting, it's upside down, the original Rayman with it as well for free. It was in there with it. So a bit battered though, I've got to admit. So it might not even play. But this one, no manual unfortunately, but I'm sure I can track one down. And when you're paying £1 for it, you can't really grumble, can you? And the disc on this looks nice. It's a bit fingerprinty, but other than that, it looks good. So, yeah, so I got a bonus disc. Got to track down a manual. But again, like I say, pounds. You know, you can't beat this. It's a great price. Now, this one is a much better deal. This is definitely my best deal out of them, I would say. Yes, that's right. I paid £2 for Resident Evil 2. Yeah, when I saw this, I was like, yeah, I've got to grab that. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not really a massive Resident Evil fan, but for £2, I was getting it. And also, this was a game I did own back in the day, because I did used to play these quite a bit back in the day. That's why probably I'm not so much of a fan these days, because I have actually played them. But, yeah, it comes with a manual. And it is the Platinum Edition, but the case is spotless. I mean, it looks almost brand new. So £2, I mean, that's a cracking price. You're looking at about 30 odd quid these days, so it's not bad. Command and Conquer, this one was £1. Great game, this one. I love Command and Conquer games, as you well know if you've watched the channel. Both discs are in there. Lovely manual. In fact, this one, when I looked at it, I don't reckon this has been played because the discs look too new. And also, the case, right? I had trouble, I opened it and I had trouble closing the case. And it was because I think it's so new that it hadn't worn down here. So, you know, to really sort of force it to shut. So, yeah, I don't think this has ever been played. So, for £1, again, great deal. And then last but not least, we've got SmackDown. Now, I might already have this. I don't know. Or it might be the second one maybe I've got. But I was going to pick it up for £1 because this game generally goes, I think on CX for about 12 quid. Something like that. No, was it CX? No, eBay. 12 quid on eBay. I knew I'd seen it recently. Again, comes with everything. It's right, there's a little inlay thing inside. Manual, and then the all-important game. Someone has wrote on the inside, but you know, charity shop, you kind of expect that. Some kid back in the day would have done that. But yeah, again, like I say, seen it on eBay for 12 quid for £1. It's a good buy. You should buy any PlayStation game if it's £1, even if you just want the case. And then this one, I definitely had to get this one because I remember playing this one round of friends years ago. And that is Super Smash Bros. Brawl for the Wii. £3 is a good price. It's in good condition. And when you open it up, it's all there. And if I remember right, the disc was, yeah, the disc again, spotless, not a mark on it. You know, now this one, I'm not sure, but I do think we've already got this. However, I grabbed this because if we have got it, this is in far better shape. You know, it gets to a point you've got too many games when you don't know what ones you've got, right? But like I say, if I have got it, this is a good replacement. This is in tip-top condition. So, and then there's a couple here I picked up from CX, Pure for the PS3. This game I have actually got on the Xbox 360. But I've packed my Xbox 360 away because I've got the PC now. But I've got the PlayStation 3 handy, so I figured I'll pick it up on the PlayStation 3 as well. And it was only £1.50, so it made sense. Means that I can put the Xbox 360 games away as well then, because, like I say, I've already packed the system away. And then I picked this up as well. Now, this one I might already have on the Xbox 360, but I haven't got it on the PS3 for the same reasons. So I picked it up for £8 in CEX, manual and disc. And again, disc is in good condition, not a mark on it. You know, great. So a no-brainer. So I've got 2 new games to sink my teeth into on the PlayStation 3. Right, now we move on to the films. Now, where do I start? So I've got a few here. Now, I will put prices down below because I'll be honest, I haven't prepped for this video, so I haven't wrote anything down. So I'm literally just going to show them and I'll add the prices in the edit. So I've got stuff all over the place here, but I'll go with this that I got from CEX, £10. I do already have it on DVD. Only I believe the version I've got has only got up to Die Hard 4. This one's got up to Die Hard 5. Admittedly, 5 is naff, 4 is... But if you see the whole lot and it's the same size and type of box set that you've already got on DVD, you might as well get it, right? It's Blu-ray after all. So yeah, good replacement now for my DVD box set. Now, let's move these aside because these are getting in the way. Right, so first off, now I've got this in the HMV Arrow sale. They have a sale every Easter. Films go down to $8.99, down from $14.99. Now you might be thinking that's expensive for a Blu-ray, but if you know anything about Arrow Video, you will know that you get a lot of special features, quite often better cuts, and they're always remastered. So when you see Tremors, you pick it up for $7.99. This is a great film. You can't beat Tremors. And the good thing with these also, if you don't know anything about Arrow, is if you look here, you can see that behind. Yes, they have reversible covers. So you can switch them around. And yeah, this is packed full of special like features that you just don't get on the basic ones, the normal ones that you get from the studios. These are much better. And of course, I picked up Tremors. So then I picked up RoboCop. And yes, this has the director's cut on it. And again, like Tremors, you have the reversible cover, which is the original cover. You could probably just make out his head there. So yeah, I could flip it round, but if I'm honest, I like this new artwork. I think it looks quite cool. And then I picked up, where's my other one I got? Yep, here it is. So I picked up 3 of those at the time. I'll say at the time because more followed. I picked up Pitch Black. Great film. It was one of the first DVDs I ever bought, this was. But now I've got the Blu-ray. Now I can't show you the cover inside and that because I haven't opened it yet, as you can see. Because I've got quite a few Blu-rays this month and I've been watching them. So yeah, these all came to $8.99 each. But this was the main one I was after. And that is, if you know anything about this, the Empire of Screams Enter the Video Store pack. Now, the reason I wanted this, I've got to be honest, it's not because I wanted all 5 films. It was because I wanted just 2 of them. And that is Robot Jox and Arena. And the only way to get them is in this set. So, I'm not going to go through all of them, but you do get Dolls, the Dungeon Master and Cellar Dweller, which I haven't watched yet. I will watch them. But these were the ones I mainly went for. And that is Robot Jox. Look at that artwork. So good. And these come in a little thin cases, so it doesn't take up as much room. And of course, like all of them so far, if you open them up, you've got the original Robot Jox cover behind. I could switch to that, but I kind of like this one. And it's the same with Arena. I had both of these both on VHS as a kid, and I've been wanting to get them for ages. And if you know anything about these films, you will know these were B movies and they never came out on DVD. This is the first release since VHS, which is why I've been chomping at a bit to get this. Now, this box set, normally you would pay $59, is it $59.99? Or was it $49.99? Each one of them, but I got this for $29.99. That's why I bought it when I did, because of the sale. So, yeah, it's worth that all day. And I've already watched Robot Jox and Arena. Really good films. Do you know the funny thing, right? And I'm going to say this now. These are B movies, right? So you would expect them to be bad, right? And back in the day, when you looked at the other films that were around, yeah, they weren't quite as good. The acting wasn't quite up to par. Some of the effects were a bit ropey. However, if you look at these now, these films look a lot better, especially now they've been remastered. And why is that? Well, a lot of CGI, especially early 2000s, it started to look a bit old. It looks dated. You can really see it, especially when they do a digital release of it. You're not noticing that quite so much with these films, and it's because they used practical effects back then. Robot Jocks especially, they used miniature models. Now, admittedly, where they've cleaned it up in places, there's bits where you see the people in the stands watching the event, and you can see when it pans out their models. It's miniature models, but that's where they've cleaned it up. However, the robot work, when you're watching the robots move and the stop motion they've used, that stuff looks real good even now. There's a lot to be said about practical effects. And I'm not just going to stop there. The other thing about these films is, when you look to the acting out and you thought, oh, it's a bit ropey, compared to some of this new stuff that's out, gotta say, these films are putting some of the new ones to shame. They really are. A lot of the new films are a lot worse than what they did back then in the late 80s, early 90s. So, something to be said there. I watched these films and I thought, you know what, I'm looking at these in a whole new light. Yeah, they're a lot better than some of the new stuff we get, and that's all we're going to say. Right, so then we moved on from that, and I picked up Goonies. This one I do remember the price for. This was £3 Music Magpie. I've got it on DVD. I needed it on Blu-ray, so I picked it up. Then we've got the Venum collection. As you can see here, we've got AWOL, we've got Death Warrant, and we've got Black Eagle. Now, I'll be honest with you, Black Eagle's not a film I really enjoyed back in the day. But I do have AWOL, and I needed a Blu-ray replacement. And all I'm going to say here, right, is for £2 less, I got all three of these than what I would have paid for just this one. And as you can see, it's all in a single case. So I've now got three films that will sit in the place of one film that's on DVD. So it's a no-brainer, right? Sometimes you just got to go with what makes sense, and this makes sense. So, yeah, that was £7.99. Didn't have this one, so I picked it up, Far From Home. Forget how much, I'll put the price below. But this was, I believe, a Music Magpie one. Got the first one of this series, didn't have this one. Then I realised going through my films that the only one of the Expendables that I didn't have on Blu-ray was Expendables 2. Thought I did have it, and I didn't. Picked this one up, and this one I think was £1.90 something. Silly money. So, yeah. Is it the best Expendables movie? Not really, but it is better than 3. Oh, and I should add, I've not bought 4 because that's a travesty. Don't buy that film, that's terrible. But yeah, so I've got that. Now, the reason why I bought Spider-Man, the second one, which is Far From Home, was because I'd got this one previously on a deal on Amazon, and this was something stupid like £3.98. Again, I'll put the price below. Brand new, look, I mean, you can see it's still. So when I got this, that was why I then bought the other one. And the only way to get the other one at the price I did was second hand. And then we moved back on to HMV and their Arrow sales. £8.99. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Now, a lot of people will be going, Lee, why'd you buy that film for? You know, they're probably going, oh, it's a girl's film. I don't care what you say. This is the Robin Hood of my generation, and most people of my age will remember this film fondly. Whether they admit it or not is another thing, because a lot of them will go, oh, it's a girl's film. It's not a girl's film. It's a Robin Hood film, and it's a great film. And to be quite honest with you, this film puts a lot of films these days to shame. It's a fantastic film. This one comes with the extended cut and all the special features as well. So for this price, no brainer. And like I say, it's a fantastic film. Look who's in it. I mean, come on. Anybody who says this isn't a good film is a liar. Weird Science. Classic film of the 80s. I mean, this screams 80s, right? Again, another Arrow release. Got this for £8.99. The reason this was £8.99 was, and not £9.99, which was what HMV wanted, was because I didn't get this one off HMV. I got this off Amazon, which were also doing the Arrow sale on some releases. So, yeah, I got Weird Science. Already watched it, as you can see. It's not sealed. What I will say about this film is it kind of crept me out a little bit, because certain things that you would have noticed when you watched this back in 1985, which probably wouldn't have seemed too out of character to a young kid like myself, look quite bad actually now when you look at them as an adult, because there's a part in this where you see Kelly Lee Brooke, who's, you know, is 25 when this was filmed, and the lad that she's kissing is like 17. Yeah, it's a bit creepy. You know, like I say, when you were as young and you were watching this, you didn't really think about it. But when you're an adult, you do kind of look at this differently and you think, yeah, that's a bit creepy. Yeah. So, but anyway, other than that, still a classic. The funny thing with this film is you can still watch it and enjoy it. But it is ridiculous, isn't it? There's no other way of looking at it. You know, when I was a kid, you didn't really pay attention to these things. But you look at it now and it's like, yeah, come to figure it, nothing in this film really makes any sense. But who cares? It was fun, right? It was fun. So, and it's got a very young Robert Downey Jr. in this. Now, I'd forgot that until I watched this recently. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot he was in this. Yeah. And he plays a bit of a dork as well, I've got to be honest. So, if you've not watched it, if you've got a bit of cash laying around, get rid of HMV, $8.99. It's worth getting, boys. I should say girls as well, because to be honest with you, there's plenty of women that probably enjoyed that film too. And then we've got this one. Now, this one was a little bit more expensive. Screamers. As you can see, it's a 101 Films. I haven't watched this since this was released on VHS. Don't think it ever got a DVD release. So I've grabbed it, and if you've never watched this film, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it's a very interesting, as you can see there, Peter Weller B-movie. Yeah, it's kind of like a sci-fi horror with a bit of slasher, I suppose, thrown in there. It's a good film. If you've not watched it, it's worth getting hold of this. I'm not going to lie though, this one was a bit pricier. I got this one on Amazon as well. Yeah, this was a lot more than $8.99. I think I paid around 14 or 15 quid for this. It's not cheap, but it's a good film. It's worth getting hold of. Now, this one we are going to talk about. Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. Now, you're probably looking at this and going, Lee, what are you doing? This is the worst Fast and the Furious film. Why on earth would you buy this? Well, I would argue these days it's not. This was the only one I didn't have on Blu-ray, except for obviously 10, because I think 10's now the only one I don't own. Now, why am I saying this film isn't actually as bad as you think? Well, me and Connor come back from watching Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I'll hold judgment on that until the stream. I'll definitely be discussing it on No Late Fees. But let's just say, we didn't really enjoy it much. And when we got back, I said to Connor, do you want to watch something else? You know, something that's worth watching. That was how I put it. And he went, can we watch Tokyo Drift since you just got it? And I was like, oh, really? Like, we've already had one bad film. You sure we want to watch another one? So, yeah, I really want to watch it. I haven't seen it for ages. So I bunged it on. And do you know what I realised quickly after watching this? This film really isn't that bad. Back in the day, yes, for its time, it was bad. It was definitely the worst in the franchise to that point. Go back to it now, I would argue not so much. I wasn't a massive fan of Fast and Furious 7, 8, 9 or 10. Certainly wasn't a fan of Hobbs and Shaw. I think it's atrocious. Like I say, I do own these except 10, only because I want the full set, not because I necessarily enjoy them all. When it got to the point where they were taking out submarines with cars and flying Pontiacs into space, it just got ridiculous for me. And I would argue that this film is better than all of those. The other thing is, this film is better than a lot of the new stuff that's coming out, because again, I preferred this over the new Ghostbusters and the new Godzilla X Kong film. This is better than both of them. So what I implore you guys to do is, you might have thought when you watch this was the worst film you'd ever seen. Go back and watch it again, because I'm telling you now, if you compare this to the new stuff, it's really not as bad as you remember. This is a milestone better than what we're getting now. So give it another watch, guys. You might be surprised. Pick this one up. This is another CEX deal. Found this on their website. Now, the reason I got this is because I've got this on DVD. Long Time Dead. This is a British film. Very good film. It's like a teen sort of horror film. Very good. If you've not watched this, you should definitely get hold of this. It will be difficult to get it on Blu-ray, because the only reason I bought this, if I'm honest, was I was looking through CEX, I saw it and I only had 2 left, £6 each. First time I'd seen this anywhere on Blu-ray. So I grabbed it, and I was lucky enough to grab the last one. So yeah, £6, which I personally, although it's second hand, I think it's a very good price, because this is hard to find. I've not been able to find this anywhere. But it is quite easy to find on DVD. So if you see it, whether it's DVD or Blu-ray, pick it up, give it a watch. It's a good film. Full British cast. Very good. And while I ordered that, I also ordered this, Enemy of the State. Now, for some reason, and I know these days we think Will Smith's a bell end, I get that, but this is back when he was actually a good bloke and he did good movies. As you can see, Gene Hackman. As you know, if you watch my channel long enough, you'll know I'm a big fan of Gene Hackman. I love his stuff. But this film is quite difficult to get hold of. And it's not that you can't find it, it's that they want stupid money for it. You'll pay 15 quid for this, brand new, and you'll pay close to that second hand. So when you see it on CEX for £3, you grab it. And I did. And this is to replace my DVD of it. So, and I've already watched it this week. Love this film. It's a really good film. And I'd say again, this one, like some of the others I've already talked about, this really holds up. It really does. You might think it looks a bit dated because of some of the tech, but the story works so well, and it's more relevant now than ever. When you look at all the surveillance and all the spyware and stuff that governments use, this film definitely holds up, and is probably more relative now than it was back then. Good film. £3 on CX. If you've not got this film, get it. It's a good film, guys. You won't be disappointed. And then last but not least, you'll see that I picked up Pitch Black recently on Blu-ray. I already had Riddick, and I've now got the director's cut of Riddick on Blu-ray, but the one I didn't have was this one, and that is the Chronicles of Riddick. Now, I had this on DVD, not Blu-ray, and as you can see, director's cut. And this was a silly price, brand new. I think it was £5.25 on Amazon. So I picked it up. You know, it was worth getting for that price, brand new. Haven't watched it yet. I will do, because I know a lot of people didn't like the Chronicles of Riddick, but I actually quite enjoyed it. And if you've not seen the director's cut, it's a much better cut of the film. It fixes a lot of the issues. So yeah. Anyway, that's all I've got to show this video. There will be more stuff coming. But I'll do that in a later video down the line. I've got a lot of graphic novels and comics that I've not shown yet. And I've got a few collectibles coming as well. Definitely keep an eye on the collectibles channel, because I will have an unboxing of a NECA Robocop soon. And let's just say I've got something else coming as well. And that's a big one. That one's going to be real good. But anyway, that's all I've got to say for this video. That's all I've got to show. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, consider giving us a like, share, subscribe. And until next time, take care, stay safe. Nerdy Geezer out.